Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Joker Reviews. Today, we are going to be appealing to all of those D&D dungeon crawling fans out there because we are going to be reviewing Pixel Glory.
Pixel Glory is a super simple game, and it is divided into two phases. We are going to start by discussing the town phase. In the town phase, you're going to be auctioning to try and get some of these spell cards here. These spell cards are going to be revealed, 3 in a 2 or 3 player game and 4 in a 4 player game. Each player, in this case we have 2 players, is going to get their auction cards. These auction cards are numbered 1 through 9, and they will be used to bid for the spell cards that you want. For each round of auctioning, both of the players, in this case with 2 players, are going to choose one of their auction cards to be the one that they're going to reveal this turn to try and get the highest bid. So here they revealed 1 and 2. So both of the players then simultaneously reveal their cards, and the one with a higher bid gets to pick first. They will get to read through the spells here and choose whichever one they want. So in this case, let's say the red player wants to choose the Purge card. This has this little symbol at the bottom, which is leaf times 2. This is the earth symbol. So you're going to take 2 basic attack to match up with that number. Then the second player is going to pick, and they're going to pick this one, and they're going to take 3 basic attack to match this number at the bottom here. The last card here is removed from the game, and the new cards are then revealed. So we're going to reveal these next set of spells, and we're going to reveal a monster from the monster deck. This allows you to kind of make educated guesses on how the whole thing is going to play out and what the best cards you're going to be able to draft are, because you're trying to keep in mind this elemental strength chart here. Fire beats earth, earth beats water, and water beats fire. So this continues to go, bidding round after round, with the lower player who picks last getting the tiebreaker staff each round. More monsters are revealed. In the case of a 2-player game, all of the monsters are revealed ahead of time, but in a 3 or 4-player game, they're revealed one after another with each round of auction. And once you have built a deck of 9 spell cards and an assorted variety of basic attacks, then you are ready for the dungeon phase. Once you get into the dungeon phase, it's super simple. All you're going to be doing is trying to defeat these monsters. Once you get to the end of the monster deck and someone defeats the dungeon lord, the game is over and the person with the most fame wins. Fame is this little crown symbol in the corner. So how do you defeat monsters? On your turn, you're going to take this deck that you built with the assorted basic attacks and the spells that you are able to draft. You're going to draw 4 cards, and that's going to be your hand. So in this case, we have Rain Dance, 2 basic fires, and a Smolder spell. This deals 2 damage. So you can see on here, you have this SP value. This means that you can do this secondary effect if you have played at least 1 other water card during the turn. So in the case of this here, so say you had already dealt 1 damage with your basic attack here, and then you played this, you're able to use that synergy point value here, so that's secondary effect. In this case though, we do not have a water card, so we're not able to do that. We have to use all 4 of our cards on this turn. So what we're going to do is we are going to deal out our damage. Each basic attack is worth 1 damage. So here's 2 damage right there. Then we have deal 2 damage to a single target with this one. And then we have draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. So we can draw 2 cards from our deck, and we would discard one of them. So we can discard this water one here. And we now have Firabla. So we can see here, Firabla, Fivrabla, whatever it's called, has a 3 synergy point effect here for dealing 7 damage instead of dealing 5. We've already played 3 damaging cards. So, 3 fire damaging cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply those synergy points and be able to do the deal 7 damage effect here. So now let's calculate all of this out. Each one of these is going to deal damage based on this chart here. So in the case of fire damage, it's going to apply an additional damage for each instance of damage on the target if it is an earth being hit with fire. So in this case, it would be 2 for this one coming off this earth if we're targeting it, 2 for this one. Then it deals 2 damage plus an additional damage because it is also fire damage. So that means it would be dealing 3 damage. So we're going to take this heart away, which means 5, and we're going to add 2 back. Then we can deal 7 damage and actually kill this. So it normally would deal 8 because it's fire hitting earth, but in this case we can't deal the extra damage, so we're going to kill this monster. We now have 2 fame. This stays with us for the rest of the turn. I did forget to mention that because we had the tiebreaker staff, that's the thing that determines whether we go first. So we're going to hold on to that till the end of the turn. As soon as the monster is defeated, the next monster comes out. We load up our health here. 11 health. Check if there's any effects. This one actually had an effect, but it didn't come into play. If you deal 7 or more damage to this creature without killing it, you gain an additional combo point. So we've dealt all of our damage, done all of our card effects. These get put into our discard, and we draw 4 more cards to be used on our next turn. So say that we played all of our cards and we were not able to kill a monster. What happens? If we played all of our cards and we weren't able to kill a monster, we get a combo point, which is indicated by this cube. Once you have 3 combo points, you can trade them in to instantly kill an elemental monster. The Dungeon Keeper and the Dungeon Lord do not count as elemental monsters, but you can instantly kill an elemental monster, or you are able to draw 4 cards. Besides fame, what does killing a monster give us? It gives us the ability to shuffle all of our cards together. So if we did kill this monster and we wanted to shuffle all of our cards together, we could do that every time we kill a monster. What happens in the case that somebody has done damage to a monster but does not kill it, and it goes to the next player? So say we did 4 damage here, but the monster is not dead. It now goes to the next player. This monster still has 10 health, and now they have an opportunity to kill it. That first person would obviously get a combo point, and then the second person would have a chance to kill it. If they're not able to kill it, they would also get a combo point. And then that other player gets a chance to try and kill this monster again. So as I said, it goes to the end until somebody finally kills the Dungeon Lord, and whoever has the most fame wins. Super simple. Now I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game.
Now that you know how to play the game, I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Pixel Glory is a fun game based on the typical kick open a door kind of dungeon crawly thing. It reminds you of like a Munchkin or something like that, but it does have that extra aspect of the auctioning in the beginning where you're kind of playing up against your fellow players and trying to build an effective deck while also making sure that you have the most effective deck. You do want to kind of go up against the challenge that's ahead of you and make sure that you're going to conquer it. I don't ever notice it being difficult to beat any of these things because they're not fighting back, obviously. But the deck construction aspect of it is kind of fun because you can do a lot of different combinations. There's a lot of different spells that kind of play off well with each other. There's also things that you have to manage because you might originally think, oh, I have these synergy abilities and I might want to make sure that I have a lot of those basic element cards in my deck to make sure that I'm able to trigger those synergy abilities. But after you play for a little while, you kind of realize that if you have a lot of those basic attacks in your deck, it's going to kind of make you dead draw a lot where you're just drawing basic attacks. So there are different tactics that you kind of learn how to play and how to adapt to as you're playing the game after a few playthroughs. So it definitely does have replayability, which is something that in a fairly simplistic card game like this, you want it to have replayability because it's something that you can bust out with a lot of different people. It's super easy to learn, super easy to teach, table friendly, shelf friendly, budget friendly, all of the different types of friendlies. Something that I appreciate is the artwork reminds me of the old Doom video game from the 90s. And I'm a big D&D guy, so this also appeals to me from the, dungeon master, dungeon keeper kind of thing. And yeah, so that is my thoughts on Pixel Glory. If you have ever played this game, please leave a comment down below. Let me know. What is your favorite kind of dungeon crawly simulator kind of card game? There's a fair amount of them out there. And please like that video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this content going forward. And ring that bell so you know what's up. And I'll catch you in the next one.